Okay, so could you please just start by introducing yourself and just telling me a little bit about yourself?
My name is Wana I am 23 years old, and currently I am a senior at Florida Atlantic University with hopes on pursuing an exercise science and health promotion degree. I am a twin, if that's interesting. And basically, I have a passion in sports medicine, and hopefully, um, career wise, I can become a primary care sports medicine physician. Yeah, that's what we're looking at from here on out.
Well, that's awesome. And I'm also a twin, so that's a weird coincidence.
Hey,
um, but I can just go ahead and give you a little background information on our project and everything. The University Alliance for Refugees and At Risk Migrants Student Voices for Refugee Network is a coalition of students and professionals working to create a more accessible and welcoming higher education environment for students affected by forced migration. Over the course of the 2020-2021 school year, SVR members are working to launch a public education campaign to help members of the U.S. university community, from university presidents to student leaders, expand higher education pathways for forcibly displaced students. Right now, we are conducting research on two key avenues: mentorship and scholarship. On World Refugee Day, June 20th, 2021, we plan to publish a research driven toolkit for action, which we hope will serve as a foundation to implement best practices at U.S. universities and colleges in the coming years. So that's just a little bit of background for our organization, but I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'm just going to delve right into questions if that's fine.
that's
Um,
perfect.
so the first question I have for you is, could you please just begin by explaining your journey and gaining support from the Dream.us? How did you learn about the program? And please feel free to provide any background about yourself, of course, that you feel comfortable sharing, that may be helpful for our campaign.
Yeah. Okay. So out of high school, well, not even out of high school. It started probably sophomore, junior year when everyone's, getting ready to start applying for colleges. I didn't really understand really what my status was in, United States. My mom, my parents never talked about it, but I thought I was a resident. So I'm applying to colleges. I think I applied to Florida Gulf Coast University, FAU, FIU, and I think the last one was University of South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily I got accepted to all four, right? So it comes down to financial, and I'm sitting here, discussing, and come to find out, I realized that I wouldn't qualify for any financial assistance because I am not a citizen, or nor am I a resident. So it came, down to I had to refuse all the schools, and out of high school, I took a few months, actually a year off before I, started to go to school because I had to work. I had to work in order for me to pay. So I went to Broward College for 2 years, paid out of pocket for every single class, every single book, everything. I was like, you know what? Something has to be out there. Like something has to be out there. So, and I just kept researching, like I couldn't find anything. So after hours and days of researching, I came across on online the Dream.us scholarship. I said, okay, I'm going to look into this. And it was actually while I was in Broward College that I found it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually supposed to apply probably halfway through Broward College, but something happened and I think I missed the deadline. But, I was like, I'm not going to worried about it. We'll do it again. Mm-hmm. Come to find out, when I did do it the year after, that I wouldn't have qualified the year before because I was still in my associate's degree. So I was like, okay. And then it happened to be that the partner colleges that they did was Broward College and FAU, which I'm smack in the middle of both of them. So I was like, okay, I'm going to apply to Florida Atlantic University for a transfer because my degree is not in Broward College. So I applied. And I was like, okay, fingers crossed. If not, then it's going to take me a very long time to finish because I would have to pay out of pocket. And then I remember when I got the acceptance, I was on vacation and into something, and it was around April. I actually remember the date, it was April 26th. Something told me to check my email. I got in. And funny story is my twin sister, she's actually going back to school and she got her acceptance for the scholarship last week.
Oh
so
my
we
God.
both are, yeah. So
That's
we both
awesome.
are. Yeah, I know. I was so happy. She was crying. I was
Aw.
like, again, yeah, because we are both, we come from a family of immigrants. So for us, we have to live that dream. I want to live the dream where, I can retire my parents because they both work. I make more than them currently at my job, and they've been working longer than I have. So, my education for me is very important. And, there are citizens and, there's a lot of resources for, I guess, like American citizens and residents. But for us, I feel like there's not a lot. But the fact that we got this and we're able to, financially put that aside, like that's like when you have financial peace towards something, it's the greatest feeling. So he's like, okay, I don't have to worry about that. I just have, the only thing you have to focus on is your education. Because when I was in Broward, I was focused on paying and education. Right. So the fact that I came across that was perfect. And then obviously I'm the one that told my sister, she applied, she got it.
Well, that's so awesome, and pass along my congratulations to her. That is so exciting. My next question for you is, as a TPS holder, what aspects of the program have been particularly helpful for you?
Okay, so we get, I guess, text notifications and emails about little seminars that usually occur during the, just throughout the programs. There's different seminars. I was never involved in the earlier seminars, but after looking and getting more, there's one where I think monthly on a third Thursday of the month, I believe, they have they have an actual immigration lawyer for, I think, 30 minutes or an hour to speak with us, and we ask different questions. So I attended that one. There's one about how to buy a house, like again, like the fact that those resources, just building that American dream can be possible for us through different different avenues. And the last one I attended was the fact that they're gonna expand their program and create a graduate loan program. And I was like, oh, that's perfect, because my career involves like going to medical school, and the fact that they said yes, they're going to start one, and through us you can go through a loan and be able to do your medical degree under that program, and not have to worry about which loans, except our status. So I've attended the seminars, definitely.
That's awesome. It sounds like a unique opportunity. So my next question is, in what ways has a scholarship impacted your life, your family, community, and any other aspects you want to discuss, if any?
Just the fact that I mentioned earlier, that financial piece for my parents, because they know how school is important to me. I've always attended school. I've always did my homework. It's like all that hard work, it needs to pay off, So my mom always commended me for, never giving up, never letting my status stop me from reaching my goals, because I was like, no matter what, I have to get a degree. Like I want to, pursue this career. So I have to do it some way, somehow. But definitely, like, my parents wouldn't have to worry about the school, especially the fact that they have a stipend. Because I was like, how you getting there? I was like, well, there's a stipend. I have my gas money, and she's like, okay, well, I'm here. They can be more focused on emotional support rather than financial support.
That's an awesome point. And the stipend thing is interesting. So you said you use the stipend primarily for like gas and transportation costs. Okay. Okay. So my next question is, can you tell us about your experience after admission / upon arrival on campus? You talked about this a little bit, but what has been helpful for you after being accepted to / entering college? And is there anything you feel is missing that you feel should be improved in some way?
Well, one of the things I definitely remember about entering FAU under this scholarship is the fact that we actually had a get together with because I thought I was by myself. I didn't know how long the program was for. I didn't know how many people applied. Those things obviously aren't shared for, PCI purposes, but we, I remember, I believe it was probably a month or two into, FAU, they decided, hey, let's all gather around and have a little meet and greet with all the scholarship. And it turns out there was actually, I believe at that meeting, there were probably 30 of us, and we each got around to telling our story. And it gave you a sense of peace a little bit, because you figure out that you're not alone. You know, there's people out there that, you know, experience the same with you. And if anything happens, we're a community, you know, we're here to support each other because we all are facing sort of the same problems in terms of, our status. But definitely that's one thing I remember. And if there's more they can do, I would like, because we haven't done one in a while. So I would like to have like something like a yearly thing. But I think that'll be it. Besides that, they've been pretty, communicative. Like communication is awesome.
Okay, great. Well, that's so helpful. So my next question is, how do you think the application process could be more accessible for others, and what do you think that would look like?
The applications being more accessible. I just think that the word just needs to get out there because, I was looking for that during my senior year, and my brace advisor didn't know what that was. So I just think the fact that just a lot of people need to be aware about it, and I don't know how, maybe social media or contacting different schools around the partner colleges, and but in that case, word of mouth, I guess, because I told my sister. But accessibility, I just think, especially focused on the high schools.
Okay, yeah, that's really interesting. So really that dissemination piece you're talking about getting the word out. Okay. And then, having experienced the challenges of acquiring educational support, what recommendations do you have for the U.S. university community, from university/college presidents, chancellors, admissions officers, student allies, high school guidance counselors, etc., to advocate for refugee scholarships and educational pathways on their own campuses?
Okay, so there's this one experience in high school that I remember a lot. I remember my guidance counselor, Miss Kelly. She, I was in the gifted program. So there was a point in my life where my grades slipped to a C, and that was like a no. So we had a meeting with my parents, and she sat down and said, you have three things going for you that is going to go through with you through life. She said, you are a Black woman, you are Black, you are a woman, and you are an immigrant. She said, those are three reasons for why you need to work hard to get where you're at than other people. And that stuck with me. That gave me that focus, that drive to, go. So to me, I look at it as, regardless of where we're from, nationality, race, whatever, we all are on this earth to, I hope, make it good, better ourselves, better the world. And so many great inventors are non-Americans. We have, Albert Einstein, he's from Germany. We had Isaac Newton, who's English. We have Nikola Tesla, who's from Croatia. Brains don't only come from America. It's always, I always say education, like investing in education is the best thing, the best, because you never know what invention someone has up their sleeve, or someone will find a cure for AIDS, and that could come out from immigrant, but and it's good too, because you're getting different perspectives from people's culture inside science or math or whatever it is. And I think that because it's hard right now, especially with what's going on with race, with presidents, but I think that people need to understand that we're not being helped enough. There's been acts that have been proposed to Congress, whatever, and just denied. And I wish that they could be in our shoes. There's a lot of people that can't relate because they're not in our shoes, and that's fine. But hear us out. I'm not going to give up, but there are some people, that'll be like, man, there's not a lot of people backing us up. What can I do? But what you guys are doing, it's wonderful, because, we need a voice. And if someone in the right, someone hears us, it could be one person from Congress, one person from Senate that could just turn the tables. And I think that would be like wonderful, because right now, there's so many debates on immigration. You're just like, at this point, I don't even listen to it anymore, because I'm like, man, it's going to be the same thing over again. Call me when you guys give us status, but just invest in the education in general, not just American education, just education worldwide.
Well, that's absolutely awesome, and I also hope the same thing.
Mm,
So my last question is, I just want to give you room to feel free to share any other aspects of your experiences that you feel would be beneficial for our efforts to build this campaign. Really, you can just talk about anything else that
mhm,
you want to
mhm.
discuss. Please feel free.
Well, I just want to say for 5 years, I have been working full time,
Mm-hmm.
40 hours, and going to school full time.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say in August, I will be graduating with my bachelor's. And over the summer, I will be I have an internship with FAU uh, athletic training, and
Mm-hmm.
I will be assisting the University of Miami. It is possible. With the University of Miami, I also wanted to say that while I did apply for FAU, to transition, I also did apply to University of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I did get in, and I was offered a presidential scholarship, but it was not enough, so I had to turn them down. That still hurts. But everything happens for a reason. Do not give up, because that opportunity wasn't set for me to be at University of Miami, but it all came full circle because I'm going right back. But just don't give up. Keep me like whatever's going on in the world, whatever's going on, because the news like to feed negativity all the time. Nothing is ever great news in the news. Something's always going on, but focus on yourself because everyone is focusing on them at the end of the day. And just don't worry about your status. Don't worry about what's going on. If you want it, you can have it. There's always a way, some way. You might have to dig a few holes before you find it, but it's there. It's there.
Well, that is a very hopeful note to leave this interview on. So, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. And I'm also going to follow up with you after the meeting, just, touch base with you. And I can send you the audio recording too if you'd like it. Uh, but this has been absolutely wonderful and very insightful. So, thank you so much. But that's all I had for you. So, if you don't have any other questions for me, yeah, I'm happy to end.
Thank you, Wana.